Hi everybody, Ryan from Brass Eagle. I'm here with my boys today. I'm going to show you a prop that the old man and I build, and we'll walk through some features of it and then how to use it. All right, so we're looking at the inward side of the prop as it's set up. We get the doorknob on the right. You can switch this door to go left or right, so that you can obviously switch up your techniques. We got a full height door, full height stop, allows you to work all of the door. This does have a piece of 1/4-inch plate that's kind of formed around either end, so that you can shock this side of the door if you so choose, depending on what techniques you're teaching. Also, there's a slug right here. I'll show you how we can pull that out, put in a 4x4 so that it'll actually act as the stop itself, so you can demonstrate what it's like to strip the stop or use the baseball bat swing technique. And also, if you look right here, there's some bolts here. You can actually put a full height steel man door, a real man door in there, strap it to the prop and demonstrate tunneling and stuff like that. So that's kind of an added feature as well. So yeah, that's the inward side. Let's swing around to the other side and hit outward. This side is 14 gauge. It's not meant for battering, so you don't want to batter the prop or shock it on this side. If you do want to try tunneling and battering and all that stuff, go on the other side and strap in a real man door so you can demonstrate all that. But yeah, this side's made for primarily ads work. And then, whatever techniques you're teaching, it should be able to handle all that. The locks obviously go in here. There's 2 lock spots made for a 2x2 or a 1x2 in this outer pocket, and then a wedge behind it. And then when the door's in this configuration, there's slugs that go into these empty pockets that are used for the hinges when you switch the other way, but there are caps right there to cap it off so that you don't have to worry about where you place the tool. But yeah, that's the outward side. And now let's kind of get into some of the pocket on the inward side. All right, so we're on the inward side of the prop, nice and close here. Obviously, this is where the door comes into. I pulled the bolts off the back side here, and we'll just pull this out. It's not painted on the inside, just because it'll stick. It's kind of a tight fit. So we pull that guy out, and then you can take just a regular old 4x4, cut at 24 inches, just under, and then it places right in there. The backside uses a 3-inch deck screw and a fender washer to hold it in there, and then you get a nice close fit for a full wood stop right there in that working area. It allows a little bit more realism, and allows you to use a baseball bat swing technique. So that's how that works. Okay, so we're back on the outward side. Let's talk through setting the gap of the door. So obviously, the tighter you set this, the harder it's going to be. And honestly, it gets to a point where it can be too tight. So you want about a 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch gap right here, and that'll allow. It doesn't change anything on the inward side really, but it allows you just to set the tool just a little bit easier on the outward side, which honestly is better on the tools, better on the prop, and it doesn't really change the instructional experience a whole lot. So how you do that is over here, and there is a threaded rod in here that helps set the spring pressure for the prop, and tightening it draws the jam in, which opens up the gap. Loosening it lets the spring push the door over and tightens the gap up. And then that's also how we will take this apart to switch the prop from a right to a left swinger or vice versa. So that's how that works. All right, now we're going to talk about spinning this door from left to right, and kind of how the jam inserts work. But to get this door off of the pins, you may have to use a butt end of an axe or a little hammer to get the pins out sometimes. But you can use a couple people, or you can use a Halligan under the end of the door to kind of unweight the pins, or if you can just grab the doorknob and pull up on the door, get that top pin out, set the door on the base plate. That'll allow it to rest there while you get the bottom pin. A little wiggle, pull it out. That one was already tapped up just a tiny bit. And then when the door comes off of the jam, just beware this is a heavy door. There's a lot of inertia behind it, and it takes a couple people to operate it for the most part. So yeah, I'll lay it down and then get it stood back up, and we'll walk through how to move these jam inserts from one side to the other. Okay, so I pulled these nuts off the back of this side, but these are the little inserts that go on the side. So when you have it on the doorknob on the right, obviously these are going to go on the right with it, and it'll allow us to pull these out, and that allows us to switch those jam inserts from one side to the other. You take that piece that holds the pin and the spring and all that over on this side, and then obviously switch these guys over to the other side. Okay, so we're switching this over to the other side. Obviously this is the top one. We're going to keep this on the top on the other side. 15/16 ratchet back here. You can see where that paint line is. You pull this off. This is a brand new prop, so we're going to also grease it, and just nice and slow take this all the way out, and then we'll pop this down, remove the nut all the way, pull it out, and then go from one side to the other, and then we'll take those inserts, put them on this side, because this is going to be the working side now. All right, we've got the door switched over. We've got the bottom hinge set up on the jam insert there. Now we're just going to lift up on the doorknob, put this top pin in, and now it's both dropped in. Got the door shut. We'll tighten or loosen the springs there to set the gap there, and that's how you switch it from one side to the other. Okay, so locking this prop up, you know, this is not a feats of strength thing. You know, we're just trying to, it's a simulator trying to demonstrate what a tough door would be like. But so locking this door up, generally we use dry wood. You can use some wet wood if you want to, just depending on what level of punishment you want to put pokes through. But so this is obviously a aluminum part, but the locks go through here, and it's just standard 2x material, just 2x2s that go through here, cut at about 11 inches long, 10 to 12 inches anywhere in there is fine. And then the standard wood door wedge goes right back here. Don't put anything in here. That's not a spot for 1x2s. It's just a spacer so you can get a wedge in there. And if you're putting 1x2s in here, 1x2s are a good lock choice too. They go flat in here, not like this, and that'll help give you a good student experience. So yeah, that's how you lock the prop up. This thing, obviously it's switched now with the doorknob on the left. Same functionality. Pull that insert out, put a 4x4 in if you want. Same, hole strap in the man door, same as the other side. So it can go functionally either left or right swinging with just a couple little movements, and obviously the door's kind of heavy, but just be careful doing that. As far as moving the door around, like on a training site or whatever, we're working on a solution for putting this thing on wheels. But if you're moving it by hand or with a forklift, if you want to scan up here at the top, you just put forks right underneath the header. Will help move that around pretty easy. Or you obviously can go underneath the base plate. Or if you want to break it down, take the door off like I showed you, then there's 3/4 inch bolts over here. Just happen to be the same as they are for loosening up a bar and a chainsaw. And then handles on the base plate itself. So that's kind of the base functionality of and features of the prop. How to use it, how to switch the door from left to right, and then just a couple quick things. The only things that I've ever seen people have issues with misuse on it is battering the outward side of the door, and then using sledgehammers. The tool can take standard irons work, a rabbit tool, that sort of stuff. It's not a battering ram prop. If you want something like that, we can reinforce it for that, but that's not what its general use is for. So yeah, I hope that kind of helps explain the prop, how it works, and that you guys have a lot of fun training with it. Thanks for watching.
One, go.
There they are.
Your fault. You closed it.